because I would have been limited by the amount of lives I could touch, by the amount of energy that I could give into that one space, that one environment. And I believe that my energy and what it is that I bring, I don't want to confine that to just one spot. I want to be able to bring that other places. I want to be able to travel. These seminars that I'm doing and giving, every single seminar that I deliver, it just seems like it can't get any better, and it does. And I don't, I have no problem tooting a horn, toot toot, but these seminars have been something special, and I just want to say special shout out. Thank you so much to Eric at Iron Soul for the seminar this past weekend in New Mexico with Ed Cohn. It was a great seminar, to say the least. It was fantastic, had a wonderful turnout. It was a sold out event, and I had such a great time with the guys, and it was just a wonderful experience. Thank you so much to everybody that came out. And it's going to be a little bit of time before my next seminar. We got some time on our hands building up something special. The next time I'll be around, I will be in Clearwater, Florida on September the 28th at Drug Tested North Americans. So if you're in the area, feel free to come by and say hey and cheer on for your Bama Brick Squad training team. What's up, guys? It's Bama Breezy coming at you live. I am your host, Stacy Bama Burr, and this is the Champion Mindset Podcast. What's up, guys? It's Bama Breezy coming at you live for another episode of the Champion Mindset Podcast. What I'm going to be talking about today is clarity. Clarity and power. Why clarity is power. What do you want? What is it that you want? What is your goal? What are you trying to achieve? What is your why? All these questions, and if you were to sit there and think about them, you might not have an immediate answer. Think about it again. What is your why? What is your goal? What is it that every single day is the motivating, driving factor for why you get out of bed in the morning? What drives you? What pushes you? If you can't answer that question, then this might be why you're not where you want to be in life. If you don't know your why, you don't have a drive. You don't have a force. You don't have power that is going behind you. So when you're waking up in the morning, you're waking up to another day to exist, which is a blessing, and a blessing within itself that we don't recognize a lot of times until it's too late. Every single day that we open our eyes, every single day that we're alive, we have the opportunity and the ability to create something new, to create something special, to make a change, to grow into the person that we were destined to be. We wake up every single morning with a heart that beats, that allows us to keep going, with a brain, with a functioning body. Some people don't have that. Some people don't have a functioning body. Some people don't have these things that we just take for granted. So think about that. So when you wake up in the morning, you have an able working body that's allowed to be your vehicle to change the world. What is your driving factor? What is it about the world that you're trying to change? What is it about the world that you are born to do? What is it? If you don't know, I think it's time to find out. I think it's time to look deep within yourself and ask yourself, what is it that you're doing here? I don't know about you guys, but I know that I was put here for a purpose. I know that I was put here on this earth to make a difference. I know that the reason why I faced so many hardships is because I was supposed to be able to live to tell the story. I was put through turmoil. I've been put in difficult situations. I've been put in difficult situations so I could excel. so I could prove to you guys that you can do it if you just keep pushing. So I could tell you and honestly tell you, because I've been there, done that, and bought the t-shirt, don't quit on your dream. Whatever your dream is, don't quit on it. Your why and your purpose, if you have a dream and you have a goal that you are trying to achieve, you're not going to stop until you get it. Don't quit on your dream. That will be your motivating factor to get up every single morning, to put a purpose behind your walk, to walk with purpose, to walk with passion, to walk every single day closer and closer towards whatever it is that your dream is, towards whatever it is that you're trying to become, to whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you want to be successful, you're going to have to invest in you. And that's one thing you're going to have to do. Everybody just expects, well, Stacey, I've been chasing after my dreams and they just keep on getting out of reach, out of distance. Stacey, I've been chasing and nothing seems to be happening. Well, guess what? Maybe you're not there yet. Maybe you're not the person that you need to be to keep up with these dreams. I could chase after, an Olympic sprinter all day long, but does that mean I can keep up? No, not yet. So what do I have to do? I have to level up my game. If I want to chase after an Olympic sprinter, well, guess what? That's a tall order. So if you have big dreams, if you have big goals, if you have big things that you're trying to do that are outside of your league right now, guess what? You have to level up. I say this pretty much every single podcast. You have to level up. You have to level up to become whoever you need to become to chase after those dreams, to keep up. You've got to become that person, so you've got to invest in yourself. If you don't know how to do it, look it up. If you don't know how to do it, find people that will help you. Surround yourself with people that are stronger than you. Surround yourself with people that are smarter than you. Surround yourself with people that have different opinions on things, different views, different opinions. Find people that can help you. Invest in your learning. Invest in your education. That doesn't have to be formal. Invest in you. Invest in your mental health. Invest in whatever it is that you're trying to become. Put in the work. Put in the work that's required. I'll say that again. Put in the work that is required. Because here's the thing. Dreams, goals, the bigger they are, the harder they are. The more effort that's going to be required. Just when you think you're there, nope, there's going to be more. There's going to be more and more that you have to do. There are going to be things that you're going to have to do and that you're going to have to excel at. In the long run, there are going to be things that you are going to have to do. There are going to be things that you're going to have to excel at that you don't even know how to do right now. I repeat that. There are things that you don't even know how to do right now that you are not only going to have to learn how to do, but you're going to have to learn how to do it and be good at it. And that's what your dream requires. That's what you have to do. You have to be willing to put in the effort and the work because this is a long-term investment. Investing in yourself, investing in your purpose, investing in who you are, your beliefs, your truth, living in it. It's a long-term investment. This isn't something that's just going to happen tomorrow. This isn't just a door that you're going to say, I really think this is what I need to do. And tomorrow, as soon as you start knocking on that door, you're not going to enter into it the following day. You're not going to enter into it the following month. You're not going to enter into it potentially for the following year, 5 years, 10 years. But you just got to keep knocking. You got to keep knocking if you know that's the right door. If that's the right door for you, you're going to have to keep knocking. You keep knocking until someone opens. And hey, if nobody opens eventually and you know that's the right door, kick it down. Do whatever it is that you have to do. If you know your purpose, if you know your why, that's why you're awake in the morning. That is your driving factor. That is what you are on this earth to do. Your purpose, your why. Find out whatever it is, and your clarity is your power. The clearer you can see that focus that we talked about, there is your clarity. There's your peace of mind. And it doesn't have to make sense. I repeat this so loud for everyone, front, back, side to side, people across the world. I'm going to say this as loud as I possibly can. It doesn't matter if your dream, if your goal, if your vision, it doesn't matter if it makes sense to absolutely anybody else in this world. It doesn't matter if your dream makes sense to anybody but you. You want to know why? Because it's your dream. It's your dream. It's not anybody else's. It's not anybody else's dream, and it's not anybody else's concern. So guess what? When people say that your dreams are far-fetched or that's unbelievable, Stacy, I don't think that's going to work. Well, guess what? You might not think it's going to work, but I know it will. So your thoughts versus my no, it's not arrogance. It's confidence. I know that it will. Because for anything to work, the only thing that will guarantee something works all the time is if you do. Effort. Effort works every single time. If you have a clear vision, if you have a clear focus, if you have a goal, a timeline, something like that, and you work towards it relentlessly, have high standards for yourself and for the people around you. If you have a goal and you are meeting your expectations every single day and putting forth the effort that is required, 12 times out of 10, you're gonna get it. Every single time. It might take longer. It might not be how you expected it. And, honestly, it's never going to be how you expected it. It's never going to actually come out as clean. And, you're going to list it out. You're going to make the game plan. Guess what? It's never going to be that easy. I tell you guys, when I first graduated from college and I had a degree in exercise science and I've always wanted to open up a gym, I thought that was what I was going to do 100%. You couldn't tell me any different. I thought I was going to open a gym and that was going to be my heart, soul, my baby. I wanted a gym. I wanted a place of my own to train at that I could regulate who was in, who was out, the type of music, the environment, everything about it. I wanted that. I wanted to create that. But guess what? I got the opportunity to. And when I finally, right before I decided to sign the paperwork on buying a gym, I listed out the numbers several times. And by several, I mean, probably, I'm going to say 100. I mean, that might be a little embellished, but it might not be, honestly, because I wrote the numbers over and over and over. You guys know how I am about writing things and trying to visualize them. It's really important, guys, and it helps me all the time. But I'd write down the numbers and I'd try to make it make sense, but it didn't make sense. For me to keep my doors open, if I was to open this gym, the amount of people that I'd have to have in the gym, I realized that I was going to be begging the people in the area that I wanted to keep away. The type of energy that I did not want to attract, I was going to have to beg these kind of people to keep my doors open, to keep the lights on. I was going to have to beg those kind of people to come into my facility just so I could keep it afloat. That would mean I was selling out. That would mean that wasn't my vision. That wasn't what I wanted. I wanted to have a space that I could control, that there was nothing but good. That people actually, it was a conducive environment for growth. And if I couldn't guarantee that, I didn't want to open a place. So I didn't open a place. I didn't open a gym. Later down the road, I opened up my own personal studio. And I built a place for myself where I could train because that was all I could afford. That was all I could afford to do, and so that's what I did. And, I thought I wanted a gym. I thought I wanted to open a gym. But here's the thing. A gym in a space, it's only a space. It's only a vehicle. It's who goes in the gym. That's the most important part. And, I don't even think that having a gym and having one brick and mortar space, I don't think that would have been enough for me. So I'm really glad that things didn't end up working out. But there and then in that moment, I was heartbroken. I felt like just my dream, it didn't come true. That wasn't what was supposed to happen. I was supposed to open the gym and I was supposed to fill it up and I was supposed to drop the supposed to. Maybe everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to happen, right? It will. it just, a lot of times we have this, intended timeline. We have this intended agenda. Everything we have planned, that's what we have planned. And I hate to tell you guys, because I'm a control freak as well, but we think we're in control all the time. The majority of the time, we actually are reactionary. Things happen to us. It's 10% about what you do and 90% about how you react to things, right? So think about that. Our actions are 10%. If our actions are 10%, ask yourself, are you putting 100% into that 10%? Or are you just falling by the wayside? Are you putting 100% into your 10%, which is your actions, the things that you're doing actively, making moves, making changes, power moves? Are you putting 100% into that? Are you putting 150% into your 10%? Or are you just falling short on that? Are you halfway doing it? You're a 5% person over here? Yeah? Well, if you're a 5% person and you're only just giving half a thought to your actions, then that shows me you probably aren't giving much thought into your reactions as well. So if that's 90%, and if you react before you think, you're probably not making the best decisions. So with that 90% that you're reacting, you're not making the best decisions. So guess what? It looks like the direction of your life seems out of control. The direction of your life is, I can't control anything. Things just seem to keep happening to me. Why me? Poor me. It's the victim mentality. Everything seems to be spiraling downward out of control. But here's the thing. We are in control of everything that happens to us. We're not, but we are at the same time. We're 100% in control of our 10%, and then we have to be 100% in control of our other 90% as well, how we react to things. We have to be so clear in our vision, in our focus, in our purpose, in our why, that when other people around you may discourage you, try to distract you, thwart you from your goals, how you react to that, that makes all the difference. If you're convicted, if you're passionate, if you're disciplined, and you know and you're clear on your goal, on your purpose, on your why, nothing that anybody else says is ever going to shake you, because they're not living your dream. It's never going to be over until you win. Think about that again. It's never going to be over until you win. That's what winners think like. That's the champion mindset. It's not over until I win. In the 2018 U.S. Open, after that meet, after I failed there, and then after I went back again in November, I competed again in November, and I'm telling you, I thought in November I had it licked. I thought I was going to compete, hit the highest all-time Wilk score in November, and then I was going to be able to retire. And I was wrong. I remember talking to my coach, Trevor Jaffe, and I was just so upset. I'd set a new all-time world record total. I PR'd my squat, hit an all-time world record squat at 545. And then I benched 319, if I'm not mistaken, 319. And I ended up pulling 523, 529 for the third. Whatever it was set a new all-time total, but it wasn't enough for the highest Wilks of all time for the best in the world title. And so I was unhappy. I was upset. And this was not the first time. This was not the first time by any means. I've wanted to quit for months, years. I've wanted to quit over and over and over and over. I've said, oh man, this is too hard on my body. This is so hard on my body. This is, what happens when I win? You start to question yourself, right? Things spiral out of control. You start to question, you ask why, what it is that you're doing. Why are you hurting yourself? Why are you missing, hanging out with your friends? Why are you doing all this stuff? Why are you isolating yourself? Why are you doing this? And then you remind yourself that clarity is power. That you have a goal, that you have a dream. I wanted to quit powerlifting over and over and over. But it wasn't over until I won. I knew my goal. I knew my purpose. I knew that I was the best in the world. And so I just had to keep going, and I just had to prove it. And I just had to do it over and over and over and learn something new every single time, get better every single time. And if you know anything about powerlifting, you'll know that strength gains, they come as when you first start powerlifting, you'll get a lot of gains, and people call them beginner gains, right? People call your newbie gains the first couple years when you first start training. And then basically once you get to a certain level of strength, your gains will slow down a little bit. It's not a completely linear progression to say the least, right? I believe in 2017, I benched 314, and then I benched a PR of 319, I believe, at the U.S. Open in 2018. So, it took a year to get 5 pounds on a bench press. A year. A year for 5 pounds. And there are other things that, sometimes you get a 1 pound PR. It took me 2 years to PR my deadlift, and I just had to keep going. It took me 2 years. 2 years without a competition deadlift PR. And was I working? Absolutely. I didn't miss a session in over 4 years, but I didn't PR. And that's the honesty about all of it. Don't quit on your dream. Just do the work. You're going to be doing the work. You're going to be in the trenches. You're going to be grinding. You're going to be in the dark. You're going to be staying up late. You're going to be waking up early. You're going to be doing so much stuff behind the scenes that nobody knows, that people never talk about, that nobody ever shows you. You're going to have to question yourself over and over and over, and you're going to have to respond over and over and over, plus one more time that you got this. That's how I made it through. Every time that I wanted to quit, I just reminded myself that can will. Every time I wanted to quit, I told myself can will. I told myself I had to finish what I started. I told myself that I knew I was capable and that I would not quit until I won. Clarity is power. I knew the specific result that I wanted, and I knew that it was attainable. I just had to keep going. All the nothing special work, all the stuff, the mundane task, the repetitive work that seems pointless. You're continuing to chip away, and you don't see any sign of progress for 2 years. You just have to keep going. You have to keep going. You have to keep chipping in, chipping away, putting in the work, investing in yourself, putting change in the jar. Because if you keep putting change in that jar, eventually when you need it, it's there. You put the change in the jar and you don't keep going and drawing out. You just keep putting the change in the jar, and then when you need it, it's there. The strength that you have to call upon, it's there. It's there because you kept on chipping in, chipping away. The goal will get clearer and clearer the closer you get to it. When you start out from so far away, it's just like starting here and then saying there's a point in the distance that's 100 miles away. Can you see that point? No. But do you know it's there? Supposedly. I've seen it on a map somewhere. Well, that's success, right? That's success. We are here. Success is 100 miles away. And how are we going to get there? You have to figure out how you're going to get there. You don't know what kind of road work there's going to be. You don't know what direction you're going to get taken. You don't know what kind of terrain it is. You don't know what the weather's going to be like. There's so many unpredictable things and variables, but the journey that you have to take, it's 100 miles, and that's all you have to do. There is a set limit on all of our goals, right? We can get there. And of course, once you finally get there, you're going to create a bigger goal, and then you're going to keep on going, because that's progression. And that's what we all do. That's what the whole idea is continuing to be better and better and better, because you can be. So your goal, think about this. Your goal right now that's so unbelievable. Your goal right now that you think is just absolutely asinine. It's too big. It's going to swallow you. It's going to swallow me whole. I just can't even believe it, right? That goal is going to be a stepping stone towards a bigger goal, if you just keep going. So that goal right now that terrifies you, that's a warm-up. That's a warm-up. Just imagine that. Imagine that this goal right now is just a warm-up for what it is that you're going to be doing in 10 years, for what it is that you're going to be doing once you have accomplished this goal. Clarity is power. See things through. Finish what you start. Just keep going. If I was to give anybody the shortest powerlifting seminar in the world, here's what I'd say. Squatting, benching, deadlifting, right? If I was going to give the shortest powerlifting seminar in the world, squat, stand up. Bench, keep pushing. Deadlift, keep pulling. There you go. There's your seminar. I'll PayPal you guys an invoice later for that, but that's it. Squat, you just got to stand up. So when the pressure's applied, when the weight is on your back, when it feels heavy, just remember that you're strong. Remember that you're strong and explode up. Know that you can. Keep pushing. Keep pushing up on the top of the squat and keep pushing through the bench. How to finish a bench? Just keep pushing. Keep pushing against the resistance. Whatever it is that you think is holding you back, keep pushing. If fear is holding you back, look it dead in the face. Be willing to look at your fear. Be willing to look your fear in the face and tell it not today. I remember the first time that I ever pulled 405. I remember the day clear, crystal clear. I got off work. I had a grunt job at the time. I was doing physical labor, but I made sure I brought enough food. I brought enough water. I had decided on this day, I had it planned, programmed. I was going to pull 405. I was going to pull 405 conventional deadlift, and this was going to be a monument. It was going to be a milestone. I'd been chasing this number for a long time, and this was after I'd broken my back, and I finally came back, and I was ready, and I felt ready. I was strong. I wasn't scared of my back. I wasn't scared of anything. I was ready. I remember I finally got off work, and I drove immediately to the gym. I ate one of my last meals on the way driving. It was a 2-hour commute from where I was working at to the gym, so I drove from my house 2 hours to work, then 2 hours back, and all that was unpaid. I remember that crystal clear, but I went to the gym. I'd smashed my meal on the way. I warmed up, and I remember I warmed up, and I started pulling. I pulled 135, 1 plate. I pulled 225, 2 plates. I pulled 315, 3 plates, and then I didn't have any more, big plates. I was pulling on like the Rogue bumpers. It was at a commercial gym at the time, and there weren't any more 45s. And somebody was like, "Oh, well, you can just put on, the green, which was a 25, and then, put 25 more or 20 more pounds on top of that." And I was like, "No." I was like, "It's got to be 4 wheels." And they're like, "What?" And I was like, "It's got to be 4 wheels." Because it's just one of those things that when you first pull 405, I don't want 405. I don't want it 3 little plates and some change. I want it to be 405. I want to look at the bar and see 3 wagon wheels on there, and I want to know it's time. I want to know that I ate all 4 of them dinner plates on either side. That was always how I thought about it, and it was a big deal. So I couldn't find any more plates. I ended up getting unmatching plates, but they went on the end, and it was, it was 4 plates, 4 wheels on either side. And I remember I looked at the bar. I got ready. I got set. I got my music turned up, and I was, a little aggressive, right? And I was talking out loud to myself. I got my hands on the bar, and I said, "Not today." I'd failed 405 before, and I remembered failing. It stung, right? Because I had attempted 405. I attempted to pull it twice before then, and I'd failed. And I surefire thought it was there, and I'd failed twice. And I got my hands on the bar, and I remember saying, "Not today." I repeated it twice. I said, "Not today, not today." And I yanked on the bar. not my proudest moment, but I yanked on the bar, and I pulled it, and it came. And I remember that was the first time I pulled 405. And all I had to do was just remember that I was strong, that I was capable, and that I put in the work. It wasn't going to get me today. It wasn't going to beat me today. It had beaten me before, but it wasn't going to beat me today. Don't quit on your dream, because one day it won't beat you. Don't quit on your dream. It's going to be hard. I'm not going to tell you that it's not going to be hard. It is going to be so hard. You're going to question yourself every single day, every other day, every month, every week. There's going to be times where you're not going to know how you're going to handle anything, right? There's going to be so many things weighing upon you that just everything seems like you're drowning. I know how that feels. Trust me. But guess what? You're going to figure it out. You're stronger than you know. You've got this. You've handled everything up until this point. What's new now? I've squatted 565 pounds. I've stood up with 565 pounds on my back. So you know what? I'm pretty sure I can handle just about anything else life has to throw at me, right? That's how I think about it, at least. Don't quit on your dream. People have the tendency to complain, but they don't want to do anything about it. It's going to be hard. And so that complaining that you're doing, stop doing it. Don't complain about the hardships that are put in front of you, because those hardships are what it's going to take for you to level up. Those hardships, that's what it's going to take. That's one of the things that you're going to have to get proficient at. You're going to have to get proficient at handling hard. You're going to have to get proficient about being uncomfortable. You're going to have to learn how to get comfortable with the uncomfortable. If you live in discomfort, if you live in chaos, then guess what? You know that you can handle it when times are good. You know that when everything gets settled down and things are stable, you know that you can knock anything out because you're confident in your approach. If you can handle chaos and if you can handle discomfort, that's whenever you're going to win. That's whenever you're going to be able to push harder because you know you can handle anything that life throws at you. So this is my call to action for you guys. Clarity is power, right? If when I opened and I said, what is your why? And when I asked you all those questions, if you're drawing a blank, what I want you guys to do now is I want you to find out what your why is. I want you to think about it. I want you to think about it long and hard. I want you to think about what your purpose is. I want you to think about what it is that drives you in the morning every single day when you wake up. And if you don't have a driving factor, guess what? We're about to improve your life tenfold because we're going to find out what we can do to be better. We're going to find your why. And if you don't have one that you know of yet, we're going to create one. And guess what? That's going to be the change that sparks the momentum. That's going to be what we're going to do to become a better, stronger you. We're going to find your why. And when you find your why, I want you to write it down. I want you to write it down and put it somewhere where it's close to you. So maybe you can see it from time to time. Writing it and putting it out into the world, that makes things real, guys. It really does. Clarity. If you know your specific goal, it's not over until you win. Just have to take the first step. Winning, excellence, greatness, all these things are habits. All these things are things that we teach ourselves. All these things are through our actions, through the little habits, making the right choices. Guys, we try to make things so hard. We try to overcomplicate things all the time. Success is just every single win. Success is just little habits. It's making the right decision every single day. It's making the right decision about a ton of little different things. It's how we react to people in different situations. It's all the right things put together at the right time, in the right place, because we created the opportunity, right? That's all you have to do. The little things. It's not about these huge, gross things that we see and we're like, wow, that's just too much for me to handle. Start by handling the little things every day. Start by making sure you're eating the right food. Start by making sure you're drinking enough water. Start by making sure you're getting enough sleep. Start by taking care of your mental health. Start by taking care of yourself physically. Start by what you're feeding yourself. Start by what you're feeding your thoughts mentally. Start by what it is that you're feeding your brain with. Read. Look up things. Listen to podcasts. Subscribe to the Champion Mindset. Make sure you're taking the time to focus on you, towards doing the work, the little habits that you create every single day that help you win. Journaling, writing things down, saying your goals out loud, setting goals. These things will help you. These things will give you a guide, but just like that, that's all they'll do. These things will help you. They'll give you a guide, but you have to put in the work. You have to be convinced. You have to be convicted. And if you're passionate, about your dream, and you never give up, guess what? You're going to make it, because it's not going to be over until you win.